Hi guys, wanted to chat with you today about all this sissy crybaby whining that the Orange King keeps spewing out of his ridiculous mouth. Basically, over getting rid of late night talk show hosts. He's got this huge problem with Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Oliver, and he's been so proud about getting the late night show closed down, and that's our beloved and Stephen Colbert, which are people that I regularly watched on a regular basis because I kind of feel good whenever I find shows, I guess you could say, or people that don't have any love for the king either. If you are a student who is on student loan debt forgiveness or anything like that, you're now going to lose that. As of August 1st, Donald Trump has signed it into order that all students that are on income-based incomes, that they are to start accruing recruiting interest on that now. So anybody that went to college and is still paying it off is going to have issues with that. And basically he's made it to where a lot of these things are having to pay doesn't go back into effect until the Democrats come back into power, possibly in the White House. And these are basic programs that he's taking away from college students, which most of them are only going to go to college if they have some kind of aid, and they're not giving that right now. He's basically put a cap on the FOSFA loans. So my kids really aren't going to have much of a chance of going to college. Donald Trump doesn't support education. He does whatever he can to destroy it. He's been a complete jerk about anybody trying to get an education. I don't think he sees anything positive about it. But these trying to cancel all media, all press, calling the news fake when come on now, he's really the fake news. All of this, the immigrants are eating the dogs and the cats. He doesn't even care about checking that stuff out. He just spews lies out of his mouth, and his MAGA base, a lot of them will just suck right into it, just like the Epstein files and all of the crazy things that he's been bringing up. And he doesn't really care about any of the people on the bottom. That's why he gave the billionaires these giant tax cuts. That's why all the billionaires, the majority of the billionaires, were on his side, which that made Kamala Harris highly the underdog in the last election. And I think a lot of it is that she's not a white guy. The majority, all of the presidents that we have elected have been a white guy, except for Barack Obama, who is still a guy. So we in America, we're kind of really far behind other countries because, they have had women leaders, Britain, Mexico, Germany, so many of them, but we just refuse whenever it comes to women. I don't think white males are ready for any kind of woman to come into power. They made excuses on Hillary Clinton. They made excuses on Kamala Harris. They basically made her out to be a whore. When you got the biggest whore, the biggest man whore that you can possibly get inside that White House right now, and God only knows what he's doing to any of the females that might be working underneath him, because he's cheated on his wife probably, and I'm highly over exaggerating, but I used to say Donald Trump cheats on his wife more than I have skin cells. But he has no unless he's just too old that he just can't get it up anymore. He's probably messing with people right now that we don't even know about and just paying them off, because that's what he did to like the Playboy bunny lady that he had this affair with, and he basically tried to pay every woman that he had sex with while he was married, because it was just, to him, it was she was a whore, no matter what. The Playboy bunnies or the anybody that he saw fit. So I'm going to basically end it with that. And I hope that you guys pick a president with better morals. I at this point in time, considering all the Jeffrey Epstein stuff that we're having to listen to now for the umpteenth time that it's come up in years and years and years, the umpteenth time, because Jeffrey Epstein's been a big deal for many, many years. He got arrested like 7 or 8 years ago, and he's still the pick of the topic as far as what's going on today. And Donald Trump will do everything in his power to either pay people off to keep their mouth shut, or you're going to lose your job. He's basically a con artist, a crook. He hides everything, just like he hid Stormy Daniels. He paid her off to be quiet for a little while he ran for president the first time. So all of this stuff, as soon as he's out of the White House, it will come out. He claims he's going to run for a third term. We've got 3.5 more years of his abuse if our democracy stands after this lying, cheating artist. Please, Republicans, do not vote for Vance. He's got some idea. If Vance runs, which he's considered to be the next person in line to run for the Republican Party, one of them anyway. If he gets Vance in there, his idea is for Vance to turn power back over to him. He's already talked about that. He already wants that to happen. That would be his next conquest. So either he's throwing Vance under the bus, or his vice president, or he's got some scheme going with him. I don't know if he's willing to pay a lot of money to turn around and be in power again, so he can destroy everybody that doesn't like him or doesn't see his politics. Mine isn't so much about his politics. I do not like his morals. His morals are inhumane and disgusting, and he's broken the law so many times. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'd go either way if I thought they were decent people, but he's not. He's not a decent person. He's just a rich person with power who's always been an a-hole. That's what he is. And until Republicans wake up and start picking somebody who doesn't have all this dirt on them, because we're going to have to suffer through the next 3.5 years of hearing about Jeffrey Epstein, hearing about the Playboy bunny that he was messing with, all the women that he slept with while he was married to Melania or whatever. He's been a cheating dog his whole life. That's all he knows. When he was on the Howard Stern show and it was said, "Well, you're a sex predator, aren't you?" He shook his head and he said, "Yes." So, he knows what he is. It's just now he has to try to straighten up and look somewhat decent, only during the time that he's running for president, to get your vote and then turn around and stab you in the back. He's not lowering prices. And inflation, last time I read the statistics, they were up 2.7% here in America. And it's only going to go up and up and up. He can't control the inflation. He just doesn't have that power, and he's not going to anyway. He wasn't out for the little man. He wants the little man or the people who are poor. You're not to go to college. You're not to get an education. You're not to better yourself mentally. You're just supposed to go out and work like a dog. That's what all these billionaires see you as. You're their maids. And those are the people that he's given the big tax breaks to, the big cuts. It's them. It's not you. Working class got very little of that. But the billionaires, oh boy, did they get the luxury of the big old tax cuts from Donald Trump. He's a scumbag. He's a dirtbag. He's a liar. He's a cheat. There's nothing but corruption when it comes to Donald Trump. Nothing but corruption. All right, guys. I'm Dr. Ann Stewart. Thank you very much for tuning in. God bless. Bye-bye.